Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Dananu, aka the man with the most, biggest, and the most blackest privilege on YouTube. And with this video here, we're going to be talking about some social stuff, some SJW stuff, and how I think a lot of it is more negative than positive. Over the past couple years, maybe 2 going on to 3 years, I've noticed the trend in movies and video games and things like that, and it's about companies forcing the whole women's rights agenda in various mediums and things like that. And to me, I'm all for it to a certain extent. Like, I like it when it's done organically, you know, just like, you know, ladies in the bedroom. I hate when you force it, you know, because to me, if you're forcing it or if it's become a part of your agenda, it kind of insults the whole point of what you're trying to do. And recently I read a couple articles, and what got me started thinking about this was the first Battlefield, whatever the new Battlefield game is called. I don't think it's called Battlefield 1. I forget what it's called, but the trailer that had like the female amputee sniper running around the battlefield and things like that. And I had the same impact as everybody else. I was like, what the hell? Because Battlefield, or at least the main core Battlefield games, has always been about that authentic experience. I mean, it's not a simulation, don't get me wrong, it's no Operation Flashpoint, but it's a kind of sort of representation of authentic things that you would see in the game. And for them to have like a female soldier running around the battlefield, I know women fought in World War II, I get that, but if they were a part of, let's say, like a certain army, like, because I know a lot of Russian women fought in Russia's part of the war and things like that. They were sniping and that kind of sort of thing. If that was kind of, you know, what it was, they weren't on the front lines of like every major army fighting. That's not what they were. And it damn sure wasn't no amputee, you know, soldier holding a fucking sniper rifle of all things. So it just doesn't work. Like the one weapon when you need the most accuracy and all of that stuff, and it's like you can't really use one of them. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but you, especially back in the day, you didn't see that with no amputee soldier. Come on. And that's what I don't like about it. I hate when they force it, because to me, like I said before, when they force things like that, it's just insults the whole medium. And I'm guessing I'm not the only one that feels, you know, or at least that kind of way. It's not that, or at least in my case, it's not that I don't like female characters in my games. Me, I'm one of those people, I'm going to play female 9 times out of 10 when I play a game. Just because I like looking at a sexy female booty when I'm walking around. Like, if anybody checks out my, you know, any of my videos where they have a created character, I'm making like a sexy chick 9 times out of 10. That's gonna happen, you know, that's how it's gonna be, at least with me. But I'm one of those kind of people who, when I make a character, I'm making a character. I don't put myself in the game. I know that's the norm. A lot of people, probably, I would say over half of people who play games, they like to put themselves in the characters they make, you know. Like, if I'm a black guy, I'm gonna make a black character, or if I'm a girl, I'm gonna make a girl, things like that. So it's just, they are probably mad, or maybe, I guess a lot of the people are kids nowadays, that are like, oh, we don't want girls in our games or whatever. I think that's a small majority of it. And so is women playing games too. Like, don't get me wrong, I know gaming is more prevalent, it's more mainstream than anything else, but the amount of girls who play games versus guys, it's extremely rare, you know. You probably see it more online than anything else, because girls can make a whole lot more money than guys doing video gaming and streaming and that kind of sort of thing, so that can kind of skew it too. What you see online is a small majority of what's actually out there when you count everybody who owns the console or something like that. So it's not that big of an audience for them to be just interjecting this kind of sort of stuff, you know, forcefully. And I don't know why that is. I think it's because a lot of the social trends and the SJW stuff you see online is kind of infecting people's thought processes, so where they may have opinions, or maybe the whole SJW thing is becoming more widespread. So now they're changing the minds of the people who actually make the games or make the movies, so where we're gonna have this in our games because we want to promote women. And it's like, I just think that's the wrong reason for, to be doing it, to be honest. I mean, to me, like I said, it's like, I think whatever you're making, whatever that product may be, the movie, the game, whatever you're promoting, that has to facilitate having a female character or a main protagonist that's female, things like that. Because otherwise, like I said, it's just you're just having it just to have it, or you're having it to force the agenda you believe in. And I don't like that when it comes to anything, like when people try to force their opinion on somebody, or a person of a religious belief tries to, convince somebody else of, like they're right in their religion when nobody knows who's right, or even vice versa, when somebody who don't believe in religion tries to tell, a religious person that they're stupid and that they're wrong. Like me, I'm somebody who, I don't believe in God. I don't really believe in, I hate organized religion, as a matter of fact, because of how it indoctrinates children coming into adulthood. But I don't go up to other people and I'm like, man, you stupid for believing in God. I don't know why that's just not me. I wasn't raised that way. If you believe in whatever you believe in, if that makes you a better person, do that. As long as that doesn't intrude on somebody else, I could care less. Same thing for people's sexual orientation and everything like that, because I know that's becoming more widespread too, as far as excuse me, that's becoming more widespread as time goes on, and coming out of the closet and that, and that kind of sort of thing. So what I think is that all of that you see online, that kind of mentality, and the younger generation that's coming up is more attuned to that. So they're more accepting of when, and this is where I'm going to get into the negatives of that kind of mentality. I think, like I was saying before, I think that they've become more accepting to everything. People's sexual orientations, video games, when people try to throw stuff in there, or when they make a certain movie. Like, you see it all the time. Every time something comes out, you have kind of like prime example. Okay, prime example. You have, let's say, WB's comic book movies, right? You have shitty movies that people will defend. You got people like myself who will call them out on their bullshit. And then you have people that be like, oh, it wasn't that bad. They were good, but they just weren't, they were good. You got to give them a chance. Why you hating on them? And it's like, it's not that you're hating. It's just the fact that they're making bullshit, and people are more accepting of that bullshit. Because to me, I'm the kind of person who, I may call somebody out on their bullshit, but that's because, like, when I watch a comic book movie, I don't want to hate DC. I'm a fan of the material. That's why I'm making videos of it. That's why I'm watching these movies. I want to see them do good, so I'm going to call them out on their bullshit, hoping that they can get better at it. Like I said, I mean, everything is a learning process. You have to move forward. And I think with this trend of everybody online being acceptive about every damn thing, it's like nobody wants to be negative anymore. And the only way to get honest criticism, I mean, in today's day and age, is you have to be somewhat negative. I mean, you can't be that one guy who's like, oh, I think your game is good, but it can be better with this, that, or the other, but it's still a great game. It's like, no, say what you really mean. In today's modern age of people online, nobody wants to step on anybody's toes because they don't want like any kind of backlash or any kind of negative press towards them. Hell, look at what Disney and what they did with James Gunn about some tweets that he made 10 years ago, probably before they hired him. And they just, some bad press came about, let's fire his ass. I mean, I think that's wrong, but that they're a corporation. Same thing. Look at what I forget the network, but the thing that happened with Roseanne like a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a few months ago now. But she said some stuff that maybe was kind of racist. She tweeted out some stuff for whatever reason she did, and they canceled her damn show. And I think that kind of negativity is, like I said, infecting everything I'm seeing. Maybe I'm looking for it, and maybe that's skewing my eye towards it, but it just seems like everything is like everybody wants everybody to be so accepting towards anything that puts out. Like nothing's bad with it, when there's something bad with damn near everything, it's nothing's perfect. But I don't know why that is, to be honest. Like I said, I think it's because of the whole SJW thing, or maybe with the internet being so widespread, a lot of that's getting more attention. So maybe that's what's causing it and things like that. But it's showing a lot of negativity, even with video games. Video games are supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be able to pick up a game, play it, and have fun with it. And it seems like now even game developers are falling, suit, like most companies now. Like it's like a corporate thing, because normally corporations, if you guys don't know, a lot of you young guys probably don't know, corporations, they follow trends. Like for instance, when with video games, when they came out with what do they call those things, game passes, or like battle pass, or whatever you like, the COD XP thing. Like they'll come out with something like that. One company will do it, and then another company will do it, and then another one doing it. When they came out with loot boxes, one game did it, then another company did it, and then another company do it. Now everybody's doing it. They follow those certain trends, and since one company's doing SJW stuff, then you got another company that's probably gonna do it, and then another one's gonna probably do it, and that's what I don't see. I remember making a commentary video years ago, and it's probably on my regular channel, Dananu. I remember saying that, like probably 4 or 5 years ago. I remember saying that back then, I can kind of foresee gaming. We're gonna have to suffer through for like 5 or 6 shitty years of video games before the games become good again. And it's like I feel like we're right here in the middle of it. Maybe it's just me, but like gaming this year and last year, to me, just hasn't been fun. And I know I can't be the only person who thinks this. Like, you got games like Destiny that's coming out that's broken, Battlefield games coming out with glitches and stuff, and just don't seem as fun no more, because it seems like they're changing how the game is, so they're changing what makes the game. And then you got Call of Duty that's coming out. They're on the tail end, they're at the top of the roller coaster, about to hit that part that go down, because they're at the top of their franchise, about to go down because they refuse to make a new engine. It's just like a lot of mediocre bullshit as far as games. And they talking about cutting out story modes and stuff like that for multiplayer only, because multiplayer casual bullshit like Fortnite and those kind of games, like battle royale games, is going to be the new thing. So everybody, speaking of trends, everybody's making battle royale, like I was saying before. Everybody's following the same trends to make a new hot game, and it's I don't know. I feel like PC, maybe not PC, because I haven't touched on PC multiplayer in years. But console gaming, it feels like we're in that shitty period where like every game wants to be a mobile game. And it's like, that's what I don't want. I honestly don't want, because I'm not a casual person, so I don't play Fortnite. I don't play a lot of the casual stuff that most YouTubers do. I like substance with my games. And I want great stories that are organic, whether they have a male protagonist or a female protagonist. I could care less. I'm there for the game experience. I want to play a great fun game, and it's just like this year. It's hard to do, YouTube. It's hard to do, man. Like it really is. They have a lot of sleeper hits that came out in the year. I'm not saying everything is bad, but At least for me, definitely for shooters. They're downhill. Maybe things will pick back up in the fall once you have a few more games come out that isn't Battlefield or Call of Duty, but shooters are down. I know you got the new Spider-Man game that's about to come out. That's going to be hot when it drops, so I'm sure that's going to be perfect. I don't know what else is dropping this fall, but I'm sure probably a few other games that's coming out this fall are going to be decent. But I'm just tired of seeing all the SJW stuff. I'm tired of seeing all the negativity. Anytime I go on my Facebook or go on somebody's video, when they're giving their opinion about something, it's just like so much negativity and hate in the comments section and shit. I'm just tired of seeing all of that. I really am. It's just I don't understand where it comes from. I really don't. That's why I said I think it's because it's the internet. I think it's because of the SJW culture or the toxicity behind that, and just how it affects people's way of thinking, and then they got agendas that they push, and I think that's messing up the industry. Not only with gaming, but just like I said at the beginning, with other things like movies too. And they're willing to change what they're trying to do to fit whatever their agenda is. Like you see in a lot of comedies, where you might have like a teen comedy or whatever, and you'll have like one black guy, one Asian guy, one white guy, one Indian guy. It's like the teen from Sesame Street, and there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, if that's what they're going for. But to me, it's like whenever I see that, I'm like, that ain't real, because name me one time when you went somewhere, whether it was your high school or your whatever, when people didn't group up with people of their own kind. That's because normally most places, I'm not gonna say it's everywhere because I haven't been everywhere, but usually most places people stick to what they're familiar with. So black people gonna be around black people, white people gonna be around white people. That's human nature. That's the way it is. Unless like the area where I live at in Maryland, it was designed to be integrated. Meaning there was no like racial boundaries or whatever. They actually designed the town to be multicultural. They designed everybody to meet up where you have shopping centers, and there was no set churches. There wasn't like, oh, that's the Black Baptist church. No, they had multicultural centers, or what do they call them? Interfaith centers, where each room of like this big ass church building would be a different religion. But it still forced people to come under the same roof, to worship and things like that. So, and even with that, years later, people still segregated to, what, their race that they were more comfortable with. That's just human nature. It's the way it is. And, I would want, all the SJW agenda type stuff, to just have their own genre of game, so I would never have to see it again by not going into that genre. But like I said, I honestly hope that coming out of this year, the tail end of this year, coming into next year, we're just gonna get back to just decent games and decent movies. Not necessarily the movies or the media that pushes an agenda. That kind of sort of thing, because I'm just tired of seeing it. But anyways, fellas, I'm sorry for rambling on. I know this isn't one of the normal type of videos I do, but I just had to get a lot of that off my chest. And I know I must have talked and repeated my words like 4 or 5 times, but it is what it is. Let me know if you guys like these kind of sort of things, because I could talk about a bunch of stuff, and I promise the future videos they'll be a little bit more, I'm not gonna say scripted because I don't really script none of my stuff, but I can promise they'll be a little bit more thought-provoking. This was kind of like a spur of the moment thing. I seen something online and I was like, fuck it, let me just talk about it. So this is just coming off the top of my head, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. My name is the Nanu, aka the man with the most biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.